You're with the Editor-in-Chief live. Great to have your company. I'm Duncan, Garner. Welcome to the program this morning. So the Olympics, they're all go, aren't they? They're all go, but I see our men's sevens team have been bundled out in the quarterfinal, so they're out of a medal. So they, the opening ceremony hasn't even happened yet, has it? And they're gone, so they're out. We have our flag bearers, cyclist Aaron Gate and yachty Joe Ella. We'll talk more about them very shortly. 195 of our athletes are poised to pounce in Paris. Chef de Mission, Nigel Avery, will join us very shortly. What does success look like in France? What does Chef de Mission mean? Anyway, we'll ask you that too. Gary Denver looks ahead to the weekend sport, and it may just be a game that there's something much more serious about. This is a new game being developed. It's called Share-nanigans. Or Share-nanigans, and we'll look at that a little bit later on. I reckon this could be good. This is about investment and how to make money and wealth, and wealth is not a nasty thing, so we'll look at that. Share-nanigans, we'll look at that a bit later on in the program today. But first, here is the news now. Here's MediaWorks Deputy News Editor, it's Grace Cocker.
Alarm bells are ringing about the watering down of child poverty targets. The government has increased ones for material hardship from 9 to 11%. Labor says the shifting of the goalposts is a new low for the National League coalition. The Greens are just as furious, with the Children's Commission also raising concerns, saying the government has lost ambition. People are being warned about the delays with St John ambulance services in Auckland and Waikato. Spokesperson Andy Everest says they're still committed to helping, but things are a bit dire.
In the instances of jobs that are immediately life-threatening, we are focused on getting ambulances out the door in the appropriate time frame.
The family of Brianna Mudawai are asking for fence signs and missing flyers to be taken down. Mystery surrounds the whereabouts of the Kapiti woman, last seen 2 years ago. While police are adamant there's been no update in their investigation, her family have hinted at other developments. A Facebook page says Brianna's mother will say more about the situation soon. Russia and China have staged a joint patrol exercise near Alaska. It's the first time they have conducted air drills together in the area. The patrol, involving nuclear-capable bombers, prompted the US and Canada to scramble their fighter jets to monitor them. To sport, where New Zealand are out of the Men's Olympic Sevens tournament in Paris. South Africa has beaten the All Blacks Sevens 14-7 in this morning's quarterfinal. Joe, Alli and Aaron Gate will be carrying the New Zealand flag at the Olympic opening ceremony. The sailor and the cyclist were formally announced at a team function in Paris overnight. Aaron Gate had no idea what was happening when Chief de Mission Nigel Avery called him.
I thought it was just going to be a bit of a general chit-chat, and then he dropped that on me, and it was like, wow, this is this is pretty amazing.
And in football news, with FIFA Plus, against the backdrop of Dronegate, the football ferns have lost their opening game at the Paris Olympics. They've gone down to the defending Olympic champions Canada 2-1 this morning. That's News and Sport.
All right, thanks, Grace. I know you love your footy. I know you love your rugby, but the men's sevens team, they were a favourite to win a medal.
I could hear people in the newsroom groaning.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I was not one of them.
Oh, it's gut-wrenching. We haven't even had the opening ceremony yet.
Sad. Okay, the patriot in me is sad when New Zealand loses its sport. But I won't cry or lose sleep over it.
No, but we don't have many favourites to win.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. I understand the significance of it.
Yeah, but this is sevens now, and sevens is such a global game. Anyone can play it.
Yeah, I think I enjoy watching rugby. When I've got like a beer in hand and maybe a bacon sandwich, and I can sit on the couch and cheer and have someone tell me what's happening. What
do we know about the flag bearers? They have no idea. Right? So they get called into a meeting and they get told.
I assume so.
Pretty amazing.
These questions maybe need to ask for Gary Denver, because I have no idea about sport.
I think we'll go Gary's way.
I'm a news jockey.
Yeah, good on you, Grace.
Duncan, Garner, live.
Okay, send us your thoughts. Just jump on YouTube, TikTok there, and send us your views. But the New Zealand Sevens team are out. The opening ceremony hasn't even begun yet. It's not till 5:30 a.m. I think tomorrow morning. And what do we get? Well, Sevens team are gone. Gary Denver, of course, is our man on sport.
Yeah, very
Hello, Gary. A glum Gary.
yeah, not what was expected after beating South Africa comfortably. I think it was 17-5 in pool play.
Yeah.
But 14-7 at half-time. They were down 14-0 at one stage. Looked okay. It was... South Africa's got a lot of speed, and that was our biggest issue. But second half, we just couldn't finish a sentence.
We couldn't. I watched that, and we just couldn't finish anything.
No.
But that's pressure.
Yeah,
that's pressure.
That is pressure.
And this game now is played by so many nations, and there's so much pressure, anyone can win it.
Oh, sevens has grown exponentially in recent years. Since it became Olympic sport, everyone takes it seriously.
But we're a good side. I mean, it's
we are
a good
side.
seven side.
I wonder how much of an impact the loss of Regan Ware. He got injured against South Africa in pool play.
Yep.
He's such a key player for us. He's been around the traps for a very long time, but he's smart. And losing him has had a massive impact. I
It
think.
has. And the football Ferns, did I pick up that they lost as well?
They lost 2-1. They led 1-0 actually, which was quite encouraging. 13 minutes in, Mackenzie
Not a
Barry
30-minute
scored.
game, though, is it?
It's not a 13-minute game. In fact, they conceded 4 minutes in injury time at half time.
Oh, we can't be too negative. It's a bit of an average start, isn't it?
It is not what we hoped for.
It's a
Certainly, the sevens were, the men's sevens came into this in form.
Yeah, I know.
So we sort of had our hopes pinned on them getting our first medal.
Well,
but
Caleb's
not to be.
picking Argentina to win now. He's picking Argentina to win the gold.
Argentina's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think South Africa will. They don't look that good.
No, let's trample on South Africa.
No, in pool play they didn't look that in coat. Ireland's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
actually.
they're
They're not playing bad.
Yeah.
So we'll
Oh,
see.
bugger. And so the opening ceremony is, 24 hours away?
Yeah, 5:30 tomorrow morning our time.
Right.
So Aaron Gate and Joe Alli to be our flag bearers,
Yeah.
both in their 4th Olympics. So it's a reward for longevity.
It is, isn't it? I've heard of Aaron Gate. And he's quite something on the track, isn't he?
Yeah, he's swept. I think it was 4 golds at the last Commonwealth Games a couple of years back. So
yes. No, I knew
he's-
was there something controversial about him, or was it just that he was so good?
He was so good.
So there we go.
But stepping up to Olympics, cycling's a different ball game.
Yeah, I wondered if they
I
might
don't
give
think
it.
he's even favoured to get a medal.
Really?
I don't think so.
I wondered if they
think-
might give it to Luca. Is it Luca Jones? The canoeist.
Canoe
She's done
slalom?
5. Yeah, she's done 5.
she's done a lot. She could have been a shout as well. Joe Alli has been sailing. This is her 4th Olympics for sailing.
Yeah, so she's been around too.
She's had a gold and a silver in that time.
Yeah, well,
so-
good on them. That's right. What else? Are the Warriors playing this weekend?
The Warriors they're on tonight. 14th place Warriors versus the 17th place Tigers.
Oh,
Big match.
We could lose.
Yeah, well,
top of the table at the
absolutely.
wrong end.
I was looking at the remaining games for the Warriors. They've got, I think, 6 games to go. 4 of those against top 8 sides. 3 of those away. So it's looking a bit grim when you're 5 points outside the top 8.
So are we saying that the Warriors are toasted now? Are we saying they're stuffed?
Well, it's looking very unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go further. They can't make it, can they?
No,
I
probably
mean,
not.
well, it's out of their hands, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you still got to win all your games. There's a lot of points still up for grabs, and assuming they do something miraculous and win them all, yes, absolutely, they're a very good shout for the top 8.
I'm hearing
But
that
it's a
next year.
big call.
I'm hearing next year might be the year. Okay, what do we got? What else we got?
Look, you've missed out on the biggest match of the weekend.
Oh, what?
The Mighty Magpies Ranfurly Shield defence.
Yes.
Yeah, they're taking on Whanganui.
Yep. So they'll roll them. Yeah.
Yeah, McLean Park tomorrow. So
I love the Ranfurly Shield.
So do I.
I don't know if it's my age now, whatever it is, but it brings back that memories of that match. It was 1985, Canterbury versus Auckland. I remember being billeted in Whangarei.
Yeah.
And on a rugby trip, and we watched that afternoon rugby, 2:30 Lancaster Park. Remember that game?
Oh, absolutely.
That's one of the best games of rugby. It's etched in my memory, you know.
It's a folklore, Ranfurly Shield, and when you're from the provinces like myself, Hawke's Bay boy through and through.
Yeah, I guess you are, aren't you?
Absolutely. I still to this day support the Magpies every game. I try not to miss a game.
And you see, I was born in Wellington and spent half my life there. I'm a Hurricanes guy, you know.
Yeah.
So I watch the Blues, but I'm a Hurricanes guy. So you're in North Harbour as well, where I grew up. So
Absolutely.
you are what you are.
I'm a Hawke's Bay and All Blacks Super Rugby. I support the Highlanders, but that would be my 3rd team because when you're from Hawke's Bay, you've got your players spread all around the show. So.
And Hawke's Bay's got good history, good Rugby Shield history. Too. It's a great story.
Yeah, one of the longest holders. They had the record for a long time.
Yes.
Back in the 60s.
Yes.
So we were pretty good.
Shout out to
Rugby
Jermaine.
Shield side.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Good on you, mate. And nothing else?
No, there's a few other things. We've got the ANZ Premiership Elimination Final tomorrow. So that's Tactics versus the Mystics, Christchurch at 4:00. Tactics lost to the Pulse and get this chance to go back to play the Pulse in the final.
It's a popular series, eh?
Oh, absolutely. But the Mystics have been the informed team of late. They've won their last 4 in a row and they've beaten both the Pulse and the Tactics. So it's going to be a big game tomorrow.
Gary, it may well be, but I just don't watch netball.
You don't?
And I don't want to come across like a sexist pig, but I just don't watch netball.
No. Look, I watch the Silver Ferns.
Yeah. I might watch them. Yep.
Yeah, I tend not to. Like I say, I watch. I don't even watch a lot of Super Rugby personally.
Yeah, no, go to sleep. It's so slow.
Yeah.
It's the refereeing.
And the other big game this weekend, NBL, the grand final, Canterbury Rams hosting Auckland Tuatara's Christchurch 2:30.
Good on you. All right,
on
Gary.
Sunday.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much.
Editor-in-Chief live with Duncan Garner. 3 questions from the Editor-in-Chief.
Okay, and number one.
One.
And number one today, is this government likely to reach the targets on the numbers of children living in poverty? Yes, easily, because they just secretly and without any fuss or warning change the targets to make them easier to reach. Honestly, have whatever targets you want, but at least be honest and upfront when you sneak around and change them thinking, oh, we won't notice. Oh, yeah, we've seen it. Just be upfront. 2. And number 2 today, Charlie's a bit unwell, we know, but should he stop by New Zealand on this tour of the South Pacific, his next trip down under? I actually think he should. And ditching us from the itinerary is a snub, and I think it's a mistake. He's making it all the way to the South Pacific, so into Samoa, stopping into Samoa. But sorry, New Zealand, we can't include you. I think it's a long way to come and not visit New Zealand just for a night or two. Have we done something wrong, do you think?
3.
Number 3, so I suggested Fonterra was so wealthy it could afford to give us all free milk in New Zealanders. So how's that gone down? Like a cup of 13-day-old milk left sitting in the sun. Farming consultant Dean got hold of me, and he wanted to say, well, he said that I sounded entitled, and he's more than happy to come on the show and finish me off. Actually, he was much less combative than that. He reached out with an offer of 2 Swedes from his garden. So message to the front desk, keep an eye out for 2 Swedes that are coming our way, apparently.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, now the way we deal with our finances is largely something that we learn from our parents. And if your parents weren't taught how to make their money work for them, chances are you won't know too much either. But Alli Kennedy wants to make sure that everyone is taught the basics of investing and about money. She was a uni student when her father was made redundant due to illness, and she saw the financial pressure that he faced. So she decided to find a way to teach everyone, not just the rich, how to be financially secure and smart. Fast forward a few years later, and she's developed a game called Share-nanigans, which will teach our kids all about investing. It's ready to be manufactured, but she needs a little help with her next step. And I think maybe we come in here. Nice to see you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So Share-nanigans,
yes.
Tell us about it. So it's a board game?
Yes, yep. So I've got it here.
Yeah, impressive.
I'll show you here. This is Share-nanigans.
Yep.
It is a board game based on the key principles of how to invest in shares.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, we say we don't aim to teach. We're not trying to create the next masterminds of investing.
Yes.
But it's about how do you spark conversation and curiosity among a family, among friends, around the topic.
You know, I think this is brilliant. And I'll tell you what, my son asked me the other day, because he's got some money, he wants to put it into shares because he's overheard Mum speak about it and that sort of thing. And he's overheard me speak about it. He wants to invest in shares because he heard that you get dividends later in life. And so you get them straight away, mate, if you're lucky. So this is the great sort of thing. How does it work?
So essentially, breaking down the gameplay really simple. Players take turns to buy or sell shares before they roll the dice.
Yep.
There's 4 different industries that you can buy from. Then when you roll the dice, the market price sliders will also move when you buy or sell the shares.
Yep.
If you buy, they'll move up 1. If you sell, they'll move down 1.
And what are the industries that we can buy in?
So health, tech, agriculture and energy.
I want the power companies.
Yeah.
Because they're making the money.
Yes, yeah.
And so tell me about your dad then. So you obviously remember this quite vividly.
So it happened quite recently and, brought up in a solo father household and then just investing, thinking about the future wasn't really talked about, and that's nothing to do with him or the people that I was around. But if your parents aren't taught that when they're a kid, he was brought up in a family of 12, so, they weren't going to discuss investing in shares, why would he then feel comfortable to pass that on to me?
Isn't it funny, because my father played this market a lot. He was a banker, his family was from banking, and they all had shares, and they all did, they bought shares rather than property, actually, to be honest. But they never really passed it on to me. They never really sat down and talked about the share market with me. Maybe I didn't ask, but my son's asking now at 13. So this is the sort of thing. We don't do this in schools enough. We don't have it in our curriculum or in our life. We talk about spending, but we very rarely talk about investing.
Exactly, yes. And it's even when I was talking to my friends in university about this, and I mean, some of them did finance, and I was like, I found out about this thing called an index fund. And they're like, a what? And I was like, might be an issue here. But it's that exact piece. Even if your parents do know about investing, there needs to be some sort of spark of conversation to actually bring it up. Otherwise, it goes by and then you get to an age where all of a sudden you've already created these barriers in your head of who you have to be and what it actually takes to invest.
You're impressive. You're really smart. I don't mean that in a patronising way. You're really smart because you've got this game in front of you, which looks really professional. Have you done marketing? Have you done business? What have you done?
So went to commerce, went to uni for commerce, actually did entrepreneurship and innovation.
Of course you did.
So it's a little bit like I've got to create something, otherwise, what job am I going to go into? But went into marketing and then decided after a year of working for someone else, actually my passion still lies among what the purpose is of Shenanigans, and got straight back into it.
And so you've developed a game, and so who's developed it? Who's developed it with you? Because this looks so professional. I mean, you got someone on board?
Oh, it's absolutely taken a village. But so the gameplay, everything like that, I created that aspect of it, as well as working with people that knew a lot more about investing than I did. And then an amazing marketing agency, Anthony and Mates, down in Christchurch, where I work out from their office. They did all the designs, the graphics that you see.
So cool.
And then our manufacturers have made the copy that you see today. And that's kind of now the step that we're at, is moving forwards.
And where is it being sold, and what help do you need with the next step?
So right now we are just waiting to click go on our manufacturing, but it's that funding piece that I'm missing.
Yeah, isn't it always though with small business?
It is.
This is the 90% of New Zealand's problems is capital. You
Yep.
know, we need capital, right, for businesses.
Absolutely. So we have launched a Pledge Me campaign. So it's a crowdfunding campaign.
Yep.
Essentially just a way to increase pre-sales, but we also offer a whole bunch of different reward tiers that people can purchase, and all that money, if we hit our goal, which is $40,000,
That's what you need, is it? 40?
that goes directly into manufacturing.
Manufacturing the game, so
Yep.
developing the game.
Yes.
Right, so how much have you got now?
21,000, I think, so just over that halfway mark.
So people listening to this that want to get involved, how do they jump on Pledge Me, yeah?
Yes, so if you go onto Pledge Me, you can scroll through the project-based campaigns and you'll see Shenanigans. The other option is if you go onto shenanigans.co.nz, then there'll be a link that you can click and it will take you straight to our Pledge Me page.
Your dad must be proud of you.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. No,
Yeah.
my dad would be proud of me no matter what I did, to be fair. He's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? I mean, you obviously have lots of goals. You're driven.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
My goodness. What a rock star.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a rock star. So what do you, I mean...
Grow my ego too big.
No, you keep it in check. We're Kiwis. People like Rod Jury, who's set up Xero and places like that. You know, I always looked at those guys and thought, well, these are real tech entrepreneurs, you know, right at the top of their game. What do you want to be, and who do you look at as your role models?
Tricky question.
Yeah. He's the editor-in-chief, you see.
I know. I think as who I look for in like role models, definitely people that are probably closest to me. Like in New Zealand, we actually have this incredible community of young founders who have gone out there and created these big startups of technology companies, and we don't hear about them on the daily because they're not consumer facing.
That's right.
But I see that background work. So a lot of people like the likes of the Kiwi Fibre Boys, they're probably not expecting me to say their names, but you know, they're they're just going out there and doing it, like bunch of young people. So yeah, role models are probably people closer to me other than well-known people.
And that's right. And I look at just in your business around, you know, shenanigans and investment in the share market. You look at companies and startups like Sharesies.
Yep.
And I think there was a group of women behind that. It's really impressive to see that, you know, women are behind the message around investing, you know. So other young women are out there going, hey, I need to listen to these guys.
Yep, and you got Simran from Girls That Invest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely killing the game. And I think it's like they see the importance of it, and that they are then part of a minority in some ways around the topic, because also you talk to some people and it's, you know, it wasn't a concept that a lot of mothers were ever taught
That's
in
what
their
I mean.
days.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so we've got women involved in the messaging, which is great.
Absolutely. They understand the purpose behind it, and they now understand the importance, and they want to break that intergenerational gap.
Do you remember being at school and them sitting you down and talking about compound interest and what's good debt and bad debt and things? I don't recall that.
No.
See, so I find that crucial, because that's the sort of thing that'll get you in the shit. And, you know, bad debt. Well, let's go and borrow 20 grand for a car. The car's worth 10 tomorrow, and the loan goes to 25 grand. That's when people get in trouble, you see.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And like, I did do some finance papers in uni, but you know, you're learning about these crazy formulas that you just don't even take in, and then you start to think about these real life concepts of what you actually need to know. And it's like people, when they get involved at my age in shares, they're looking on the app every day to see if it's gone up. Like you don't have that concept of time over money, where the importance is could be, depending on your investing goals, and absolutely no investing advice around here, but it's that long-term thinking of small amounts rather than saving up and then putting it in.
So you can put $500 in here, 500 there, and just build it over time.
You can start from $5 on platforms like Shares.
You know, you had the chance to do a Zoom call with us this morning, but you jumped on the plane and came up here as well yourself.
Had to.
Yeah. Well,
No.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I wanted
all
to
the
be
very
here in
best.
person. Thank you. Really appreciate
All
it.
the very best, and good luck, and we'll keep in touch because I want to know how your Pledge Me campaign goes.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Take care. All the best.
Bye.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, send in your feedback. What an awesome idea. What a brilliant young woman, and what a brilliant idea. And Moana said to me here on the feedback, Duncan, awesome. It's all about education and investment, and it's money sense. So well done. Duncan says, James, I learned not what to do from my parents. My lovely wife has made me financially secure than I have ever been. So good on you, James. Ashley Abbott is the deputy chef de mission with the Olympic team in Paris, and joins us now because it's all going 24 hours time. We've got the opening ceremony. We've had the sevens. Unfortunately, sadly, the New Zealand men's sevens team is out at quarter-final stage, so no middle chance there. Ashley, g'day. Welcome to the program.
Thanks. I'm calling in today from New Zealand House, where we've just had our flagbearer announcement. So, in spite of the disappointing loss for the sevens guys, there's a really great atmosphere here today.
I bet there's a real buzz around it. So tell us about the two that have been named and their reaction to it, because it's all just happened, of course. So how exciting!
Yeah, it's all just happened. So Aaron Gate, a fantastic cyclist, was named. He beamed into the ceremony actually because he's over in Gretchen in Switzerland at the moment. He had his last final hard-out session on the velodrome, so he couldn't join us. So him and his colleagues beamed in over the video link, still looking a bit sweaty, but he was just thrilled, and so were her teammates. And actually we had the honour of popping in secretly during the week. We had a bit of a trip from France through Germany into Switzerland to meet him and have an undercover announcement. So fantastic to be able to do that with his team, and he beamed into the ceremony and had a little chat about his views on having his flying mullet combined with the honour of wearing the cloak. He thought would be really good for his performance. And then we had the fantastic sailor Alli. She was here in person up from Marseille, where she's been preparing for the games with her team down in the south of France, and she spoke to the team and she had a tear in her eye, and I think so many of us did in the audience too, listening to her. So really special, and you could feel how for both of them just what an absolute honour it is to represent New Zealand and our values and what we stand for. And we were going to say march into the stadium, but actually, of course, we're going up the river on boats this time. So hugely proud. So yeah, absolutely a fantastic moment here in Paris.
It's so special because very few New Zealanders get the chance to, well, one, go to the Olympics, but secondly, to hold the flag and to be leading your team or your team and country into the stadium or up the river or whatever. And it's just so special. Tell me, when you got to Switzerland to see Aaron, to have a bit of a pull aside with him and say, Aaron, we've got some news for you. How did that go down? And he must have wondered what you were there for.
Well, actually, Aaron already knew, because it's not necessarily that easy for athletes to, stop what they're doing. Their plans are so detailed. So he had to have a really good think about how it was going to impact him and his team to move away from the training base and come in. So he already knew, but I know that he said yes immediately, and then he thought, gosh, I just need to, have a think about it and check for my performance and how that would go. So he'd had a little heads up, but it was quite funny. Nigel Avery came and, sat the team down and said, I'm here to make sure you know all about, how we're going to operate in the village and what to expect. And, it was sort of a bit of a heads up briefing about Paris. But then he said, well, the real reason I'm here. So that was a really nice reaction from his teammates. So they got some good photos. But, we chatted with Aaron there, and you could really feel actually how important it was to him. He's a guy that's pretty upbeat and can make some good jokes, but you can see, the depth of feeling behind something like this kind of honour, and that was really what I felt with Joe as well today, just that that feeling of importance.
Is there a real buzz amongst the team? Is there a real excitement, and how have they settled in?
Yeah, the village is great at the moment. There's so many people there. So, you know, our team have got our village and it's looking stunning with big banners, and we've got, you know, imagery of the fern and our values, and, you know, it really looks like a piece of New Zealand. We've got beautiful pole with designs outside our entrances. So that's really reflecting New Zealand. But then you step outside and we've got, you know, all different countries around us, and our athletes are able to walk into the dining hall and you know, sit beside Kenya or Uganda or goodness knows who. Uzbekistan are just over from us. So it's a pretty cool buzz, and there's a lot of people in there now. So everyone's settled in, and we've got opening ceremony tomorrow, and then we're into it. I think we've got something, honestly, like 10 competitions happening for New Zealand on that first day one. So all the Kiwis are going to need to be staying up nice and late to watch.
Yeah, I bet. Hey, do you have is there a tally in mind in terms of how many medals we want? I mean, I know these are sorts of things that are judged on by the end of it. Is there a number that you guys have a target on?
No, so the New Zealand Committee, our job is really welcoming the athletes in, making sure they've got everything they've got, so their you know, their performance can absolutely be maximised. You know, I know that if you talk to HPSNZ, they do have their serious targets, but you know, we've got 195 athletes. We're competing in 24 sports. Our athletes are pretty amazing and well renowned around the village and the Olympic world for how good we are. So absolutely, we're expecting some pretty outstanding performances.
Ashley, go well. I appreciate your time on the program. Thank you for your availability. I know it was short notice, and I know how busy you are and how buzzy everything is. So we appreciate you making time for us. Really do.
Thanks so much for the time, and I'm sure you'll look forward to watching soon.
Totally. I feel the buzz already. Good on you. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Thanks.
Duncan Garner, live.
I actually did get a few little goosebumps just then. You know, the naming a flag, or to the flag bearers, is a real moment. Because how many flag bearers have we had in our history? Not many. That's the thing. Not many. Every 4 years you might get one or two. You'll definitely get one. You might get two. But that's what it is in Olympic history. So you're a real special club. Kalo the Sevens, though, I know you're disappointed. I can see it on your face, and that's a shame. But yeah, they were a medal chance too, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean,
so they're out. The Sevens men are out.
They're gone. They're gone. And, you know, we haven't actually had much success at Olympics, sadly. In 2016, we were out in the quarters as well.
Yeah, they choke a bit, don't they?
2020, we were silver, which I thought we probably really should have won.
I agree.
Then this year, we just got completely outplayed. And, you know, South Africa, like every tournament of late,
don't tell me.
we beat them when it doesn't matter and lose to them when it matters.
It's like the French. It's like the French with the under-20s.
I know.
Beat them at the start and then lost in the semi.
The thing is, South Africa qualified third in our pool, so they were one of the best losers to qualify for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, South Africa though.
So, oh man, it is gutting, man. Like watching that, it was so gutting because we should have scored with about a minute to go.
Yeah, saw that.
And then we were isolated. Aquila Rockoli-Saw was isolated, and there was a turnover, and then we got penalised, and so they kicked down the far end of the field, and then we won a line out against the throw, went all the way up the field, and then got penalised again, and rightly so as well.
Yeah. So it's also the Golden Girls then need to do it, don't they? Our women's team.
100%.
But they're good. They're good.
They are real guns.
Yeah.
Seriously, like they are extremely fit athletes.
Well, they're actually a brilliant team with
athletes.
Sarah Hennedy and Portia, and incredible.
Oh, they're some of the greatest rugby players of all time in either gender of sport.
You're actually right about that, and it's not unusual to say it because that's the truth. Portia Woodman is the most incredible women's rugby player on the planet now.
She scored the most tries in World Cups, full stop.
Fast.
And people go, oh, it's women's rugby. Well, no. You go out there and score 20-odd tries in a World Cup, full stop. You're sitting at home on the couch.
But
you know what I mean?
But who questions women's rugby anymore? I mean,
no, and it is actually good code.
It's a great product. Right?
If you want a game that's not slow and got plenty of ball in play, watch women's rugby. Seriously,
I agree. Good on you, mate.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, so the stories, they keep rolling in, don't they, when it comes to the police? And I make no apologies for pointing out the vast and yawning gap between the pay and conditions of the Aussie cops compared to our officers here in New Zealand. this week, we've spent the entire week really focused on this and pushing this because it is such a yawning gap. It is so stark, the difference. Just 2 hours away, yet worlds apart in terms of paying conditions. And I can see why. Well, Mark Mitchell said yesterday only 80 have gone, but I reckon it's way more. And you can see the numbers. I will reveal shortly how incredibly life-changing it has been for one New Zealand cop who has got hold of me from across the ditch. But first, I was kind of gobsmacked yesterday that Mark Mitchell, good on him for coming on, said, sorry, but we aren't going to budge. This is the final offer. Take it or leave it. See you later. If it's Aussie you choose, then good luck. But he's done. He wants the police to better prioritise their time and resources and relook at everything that they do here. Now, if you want to go, then go, he said. I think it's a really risky strategy. I couldn't believe it. I thank you for coming on the program, but thank you for being so honest. You stood here, Mark, and said, sorry, pal, nothing more, go. Because I don't think that he thinks people are going to go en masse. But the stories coming out of Australia actually get better and better. It is so attractive. I got this email last night. It happens to be from an old mate of mine when we played rugby, much younger guys, Takapuna, actually. We were 19 years old. Ty Rossi, good player. He writes, Duncan, I left New Zealand Police 13 years ago after 12 years of service due to the cost of living. That's when I left. I moved to Queensland and I've served in the police here for the last 13 years. And yes, the grass is greener here. Better paying conditions with paid overtime. See, that's crucial, paid overtime. And better superannuation, tax breaks, great opportunities within the job. I've been really fortunate that I've been able to do a lot more than I would have if I'd stayed in New Zealand. Get this, Duncan. I travel. I have a nice home. The kids are looked after. I have nice cars and a few toys. Don't get me wrong, you still need to work hard, writes Ty, but at least you see the rewards. The job still has its politics and troubles. Yeah, sure it does. But if you're going to do it, you might as well get paid properly. It's so true, isn't it? If you're going to be a cop, then you might as well go and be a cop where it's paid handsomely, where the weather's better. And I'm sorry, what's the bad bit? Can someone just please tell me the bad bit now? Is there a bad bit? See, Ty Rossi's changed his life by leaving the North Shore of Auckland, going to Queensland. He's paid double. He's got all the toys, cars, kids are happy, missus is happy, happy wife, happy life. Smile. If you don't pay your police, eventually, he says, corruption will creep in. And I can see it happening in New Zealand already. And once it does, its eradication will be difficult, says Ty. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, I'm all right, brother. Cheers. This is an interesting email because it outlines exactly what the differences are. A total different standard of living. You can bust your gut here in New Zealand, say in Wanganui, for $75,000. Get an overpriced house. Struggle away, moan and groan, or head to Australia, double your pay overnight and you're away. Get the cars and the toys. I think Ty's account is overwhelmingly positive, and I think it'll be hard for some New Zealand cops to turn down. 7 New Zealand police officers have, in the last 5 days, got hold of me to say they've approached the Queensland agencies already. That's in 5 days. That's 7. And that's just to me. How many others are doing it without telling us, you know? So, that's us, folks. Enjoy this week. I think we should put Canada soccer on the Plonker list. Yeah, I'm going to do that. This is our Plonker list, our list of the complete tossers in society. Here it goes. Here's the music. Yeah. Woo. We're doing for it, guys. We should Canada soccer. These are the guys that put the drone up to cheat and... Right up. Miranda wants to right... No, you can't... Let's get rid of Shane Jones. He only wanted to go mining.
Do you reckon we get rid of Kiwi Rail?
Yeah. Well, what have they done? None. Well, no, we've got the ships are okay for another 5 years. That's right. They've solved that.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah, they found a new set of keys. Canada soccer is 3, but going up. Okay? Like a drone, they're going up. Should we keep Shane there because he wants to mine?
Shane's going to be there a while.
Shane's going to be there for a little while. And Darlene? This is Siberia.
Until she leaves, she will be number 1.
Oh, well, she might stay there for a little while there. And Nobby's still there because, well, Nobby was a knob. So Nobby stays. Hard to get rid of the knobs sometimes. They just rusted on, don't they? That's us. Thank you so much. It's true. You like that line. That's true. This will be available as a podcast very shortly on, what is it, Rover, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Duncan Garner, and I'm Duncan at rover.nz. Thank you, Forrester. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Zarina. Thank you, everybody, for what you do for me and the program. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your feedback and all your support. Thank you to the Deputy Chef de Mission, who was so excited and actually was really good talent. She was really, really quite lively. I really enjoyed speaking to her. And that is us. Remember, life is no dress rehearsal. You won't do it again. This is it. So get out and enjoy it. Have a great weekend. Take care.